Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. This is Lenny Murphy here with another one of our interview series. And today, starting the year off right, talking to my good friend, Alex Hunt, CEO of PRS InVivo. Alex, how the hell are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Lenny. Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you, sir. I saw that you were relaxing on the beach over the holidays, so I was a little bit jealous, but decided I wouldn't hold it against you for this call.
We were indeed relaxing on the beach after a epic 2019, a break that was much needed. But back to work now at the start of January with an exciting year ahead.
Yeah, well, that is a good segue. You set me up well. So, for those who are maybe have forgotten, Alex has been around the industry forever. And most before this role at Brain Juicer, but last year had the opportunity to kind of step up to the big chair, right? As the brought in as the CEO for PRS InVivo. So first time CEO, long established company, a remit to change the business in a variety of ways. And you've had a year of doing that. So how'd you do?
Well, I'm not sure that really I'm the best judge of that. I think our client stakeholders, our investor partners, and most importantly, actually, our tremendous staff are probably the best judges of the progress that we've made. But in my humble opinion, I do feel that it was a massive year of progress for PRS InVivo. On many fronts. The first being that we laid the organizational foundations for future growth. So we developed an incredible vision, a great strategy, and put in place the functional capability to deliver it, to the benefit of our clients. And secondly, we really made it happen, followed through on each of our key initiatives, and began bringing that vision, mission, strategy to life. And the results are clear and starting to show, and that gives us a massive source of energy moving into 2020.
So what did you learn, Alex? I mean, obviously you earned this, right? You were ready, and but I know from personal experience, I think I'm ready for something, and then I jump into it, and it's like, oh, whoa, I didn't expect that, right? that was an unforeseen circumstance. So, talk about you for a minute. What have you learned over this year as professional, as a human, with this challenge?
Oh gosh, I think that any progress that PRS InVivo has or hasn't made is absolutely not about me. I think our team are absolutely incredible, and it's frankly a privilege to work with them and many of our clients. So the one thing that I've really taken away from 2019, and as we move into 2020, is that my role, is frankly, because I'm not an expert at any single thing that we do. They perhaps let me have a little bit of input on a great many things, and it's just to support and really help get behind some of the really great people we have within the business. They're the ones that are really driving us forward, and it's the team that deserves all of the credit.
So you see yourself as a leader, as the cheerleader for the organization, more so than the quarterback?
I think it's a little bit of both. We have such massively talented people at PRS InVivo, and really empowering them to deliver is absolutely key. I will say though, one shift in the industry in recent years is that it is adapted to new and in many ways more classical models of management. There's been an influx of capital into the business, and with that comes a higher standard of professionalism, and getting in place many of those foundations, foundations that drive successful strategy execution are key. And so I think in addition to empowering people, it's making sure that they have the right processes, the right frameworks in place in order to deliver. And I think in 2019 at PRS InVivo, we've balanced both of those things really successfully.
What was your biggest surprise, Alex? What was the, something that really stands out? You thought, man, I did not see that coming.
The largest surprise for me was actually in two places. The first was actually with our team again. Market researchers, at least in my experience, are not real advocates and proponents of change. Through my whole career, I sought and been an advocate for change in the market research industry, alongside lots of other leaders who are sort of rising to the key positions in the industry now, and we hadn't seen a lot. But one thing that really did surprise me was the willingness, the openness, the determination of the staff at PRS InVivo to really reinvent the company that we are and what we offer to clients. So that was the first big surprise. The second, probably less of a surprise, but immensely gratifying, has been the reaction of some of our clients. Our client relationships are just so incredibly long-standing, incredibly deep, and there's so much trust from our clients in the PRS InVivo brand. It's really a daily obligation to live up to that. But a really gratifying part of the year nonetheless, putting forward a new vision and delivering on it for our clients as well.
So let's talk about PRS InVivo then for a minute and kind of the year ahead. So my take, and full disclosure, I've known PRS InVivo for a long time. We did some work together last year and the year before, so kind of have a little bit of a privileged view. But a company that had built incredible amount of expertise and trust, as you said, in a very specific area around package testing, build a great business model, utilizing kind of in-context, premise-based, solutions, and under a lot of pressure to switch to more of a digital-centric product view, as well as broaden its capabilities to address more business issues related to shopper insights and purchase and shopper engagement at the shelf, et cetera, et cetera. So, and you've done a lot of those things, right? We saw the press releases throughout the year of launching new products, leveraging AI and digital solutions. Now, a new year and new goals. What does that look like for you going ahead? What are the big things that you're excited about from that transformation of the business perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I am immensely excited by continuing to execute our strategy. With the senior leadership, we developed at the tail end of last year the framework for 2020, and the good news is that there's really no change in direction. If anything, it's an acceleration of many of the things we laid the groundwork for last year. We are on a journey to move from traditional market research, traditional full-service market research, into behavioral science consulting, built for the digital era, and expanding what we offer clients to encompass the whole shopper and product experience. And that's a massive, massive switch for the organization, but we have a clear plan beneath it to deliver against each piece. That is a three-pronged approach, and all three elements are massively exciting for our staff and for our clients, and for me personally in 2020. So, on one level, it's expanding our product portfolio. As you very kindly referenced, we launched a lot of new services that really were successful last year. This year, our new service launches are qualitative, which is going to be launched as a new offering on January 29th. So we have that coming up, and incredibly looking forward to that. We're going to be expanding our AI pack screening offer in the early spring, and then moving to a virtual reality offer for our core in context business, fully immersive virtual reality in the early summer.
Everything.
Yes.
Right? All right, cool.
it's a really exciting year from a product portfolio standpoint, and we have some of the best minds in our innovation team in the industry. It's incredible, and Emily Eberly and her team have really done a phenomenal job. So that's our product portfolio. The second prong on the strategy is really digitization, and digitization of all our conventional in-context at-shelf services. We've made massive strides digitizing both the data collection, the reporting during 2019, and made some really substantial investments actually in our Shopper Lab network, and that will continue into 2020. Our flagship network of labs should really be the best in the industry, and the client feedback we've had on the labs that we've renovated has really been an endorsement for all of the effort from the team on that front. And then finally, behavioral science. I've been a proponent for the power of behavioral science. It really is the science of our industry for a long, long time, and it's been immensely a privilege to join a company that's got such a heritage in behavioral research. Many people don't know, but PRS and InVivo were both pioneers in behavioral science long before it was called behavioral science, from the pioneering of eye tracking right the way through to behavioral experiments in the InVivo Shopper Labs. So what we hope to do in 2020 is really take behavioral science to the next level, potentially invent through our revamped technology-driven Shopper Labs ways of doing behavioral research that really doesn't have any questions. It's pure behavioral observation. And so that is a key priority during the year as well, elevating the degree to which we're all about applying behavioral science to market research for better business outcomes. So all in all, it's going to be a really busy but incredibly exciting year for the business.
Very cool. Well, it sounds exciting. So, and on the behavioral science, is that a homegrown capability, or are you leveraging your sister company Nudge, that's part of the BVA network, or a little bit of both? How's that playing?
It's definitely a little bit of both. PRS InVivo's behavioral science heritage is very, very strong, and as you referenced, we are part of the wider BVA group, and BVA has a great many companies that also specialize in behavioral science and behavioral science consulting, including the Nudge unit. So part of our strategy at a group level is not only for each individual operating brand to succeed, which they are, but also to create some synergies and some complementary skills we can bring to clients across the business. And close partnership with our sister companies is absolutely something that we'll be delivering and bringing to clients in 2020.
So let's look at 3 years out. So you're seasoned, you've been in the role for a while, the company has succeeded. What will you count personally as, if you can achieve this, will be your greatest accomplishment? At that point, you'd be like, time for a new challenge, or whatever the case may be. But you know that you have done all that you set out to do. What is that thing?
Well, I think one piece of advice that I was given was to really focus on what we're doing at the moment. And right now, we are massively enjoying the transformation of PRS InVivo, and the feedback from both our clients, our stakeholders, our investor stakeholders, and most importantly from our staff, really the reward that's necessary. I do think though that I was asked a question, at some point during 2019, which was what's most rewarding on that journey for you, and I think there's two factors. One is just the opportunity and the privilege, frankly, to work with such talented people. That we enjoy the journey, and that really is reward in and of itself. I think a secondary reward is that there are companies and agencies and brands that are trusted largely within the industry, and there is an obligation on those industries to help drive the industry forward. And to date, historically, that hasn't always been the case. Market research hasn't transformed as quickly as other industries, and I think there is a real danger that if the pace of change and the rate of transformation in the market research field doesn't accelerate, we could be deselected as an industry. And I would like to think that PRS InVivo as an agency, and also some of our competitors, both direct and indirect, would all share that responsibility and really make a contribution to driving change in the industry forward as well.
Preach to the choir, my friend. So, so we share that goal. That's great. So I want to be conscious of time. There's, I don't know about you, but my year has started out with a bang. Well, it sounds like yours has as well. So, so every minute is precious. Is there anything else that, as you kind of think about the past year or the year ahead, that you think, this is something I'd like to just share with other people? So, for the sake of expanding wisdom, sharing information.
Oh, sure. Well, look, I mean, I think, there's a huge thank you and kudos to you, Lenny, and many of the folks at Green Book and those responsible for the IIEX series, to the degree that you've been huge proponents and supporters of change through the MRX industry over recent years as well. And I think that, it's incumbent on everybody in the industry to get behind and support that. I think the other sort of point that I would just make moving into 2020, and it's a point I made to our leadership team last week as we were off site, is that the disruption the industry is facing is probably here to stay, and it's probably a good thing. It's been a long time in coming. So as an industry, we probably just need to get used to that and learn to thrive within it, because it's only going to be positive for the development and growth of the wider industry. So they're the two thoughts I would leave everybody with.
Oh, well, thanks, Jeff. The check's in the mail, buddy. So
thank you.
Right, post holidays, we all need a little bit of money in the bank, right? So, all right, so let's make a date to check in same time next year. I think this is it's a pretty neat opportunity to be able to engage and kind of follow along with your path as you go down this evolution for yourself in the business. So so we got a date. 365 days from now, we'll do this again. In the meantime, thank you for everything, and it's great to catch up. And congratulations on all the success, and wishing you plenty more this year.
Great, and thank you to you as well. And thanks to everybody listening. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Alex. Talk soon.